Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, your host and favorite author, FMLS, and I'm actually just shooting this video today to check in on y'all, see how you doing. Just wanted to get a little something off my chest, if that's okay with you. With the state of our world, well, more particularly here in my country, the touching states of America, it has become increasingly obvious that common sense is not so common. So I want y'all to watch all the way to the end. And I'm not here to start no mess. Maybe I am. But what I want to do is get the conversation started. I want you, if you watch this video, to have the conversations in your little corner of the world with the people that you have smart conversations with. And I would love to get some feedback down in the comments below because, I don't care who you are, what you look like, what size you are, what size shoe you wear, how much money you have or don't have in the bank. You have to have been affected by what went on in the United States in November 2024. Like, remember when we were growing up? Well, I'm 50, so you may be much younger, but we had these campaigns, right? Where if something was missing, particularly a person, they will put it on milk cartons because a carton of milk. So they put the missing kids on the box of the milk. And I'm just wondering, it may not, maybe we could do a campaign for common damn sense. So maybe it would be like on the oat milk since people go on plant-based and stuff, but did people just pack it up, kidnap it, traffic it, or where the hell did the common sense go? I know, I said at the beginning, common sense is not that common, but we need to look for it because it's not a species, but it's endangered. Do you feel that? And like I do in all my videos, I'm going to get us all on the same page. I'm going to give clarification and definition of common sense, so you know what I'm talking about in this video. So for the sake of this conversation, common sense is like the things, it's the things you're supposed to know. Like, don't touch a hot stove. Look both ways before crossing the street. You get what I'm saying. And to apply lotion on your entire body after you take a shower and not just your hands, because that's going to be the only thing showing after you get dressed. I know it should be pretty hard and wrong for me to try to generalize common sense across an entire population like the touching states of America. And the reason I'm saying touching states, for those of you who maybe once again need to take out an ad for common sense, is because we ain't never been united about nothing. So anyway, let's go. So I understand that common sense manifests differently across different landscapes based on culture, personal experiences, lifestyle, education, all those things. So for instance, these are the exceptions to common sense. Regional differences. So I'll acknowledge the exceptions to the common sense that I'll be talking about in this video. So we're going to say the regional differences. For instance, someone in Denver who is preparing for a snowstorm, their common sense is a little different getting prepared for that storm as opposed to someone in Miami, right? If you flip it, a person in Miami preparing for a hurricane, there are certain things that are common sense to them than a person in Denver preparing for a hurricane, because this is nothing that is in their normal daily experience, right? So we're going to eliminate those type of regional differences when it comes to common sense. We're going to give those people a pass. What we're talking about is, once again, the things you just should damn know. And a lot of us know stuff, but we don't do the things that we know that we should do because of this thing called the mob mentality, which has robbed a lot of us of common sense. And what the mob mentality is a psychological phenomenon that describes when people are influenced by a larger group. They adopt their beliefs, their behaviors, and their attitudes. You see this on a daily basis, like in church, marketing, even sports arenas. And we've also seen it in history across the entire planet. So this is not just happening in the touching states of America. They say life is lived forward and understood backwards. But when are we going to understand? We are the same people who couldn't understand how Jim Jones convinced people to drink Kool-Aid and kill themselves. Yeah, we're the same group of people who don't understand how the Holocaust happened, how Rwanda happened. And yet here we are making the same stupid choices because we're too lazy to think for ourselves. And although you may not be a felon, you may have someone in your family or someone that you care about who has a felony, who you saw go through heartaches and disappointments and for lack of employment, because people wouldn't hire them to fry French fries, but yet you're going to put somebody in a position to lead an entire country. I mean, make it make sense for me. And don't come over here talking anything about policies or whatever, because no one even got into policies. People just start picking sides. Hey, I'm either blue or I'm red. And that's as far as your research went. What most of us did is you made a choice based on a person who had more bang for their buck. One person never stopped campaigning since 2016. And the other person did a lot of campaigning in 101 days. And regardless to your political choices, you were guided to a choice. And it's amazing. Like, when you change something in one area, other areas are going to be affected. So no one escapes unsinged. Another reason that common sense is not so common is our information overload with 24-hour news. At one point, we thought that was smart. But how stupid do you have to be for somebody to tell you the same story 75 times within a 24-hour span? You don't need all that. Sometimes you're not even making your own choices. It's just that you hear something so much that it becomes the truth. Maybe 24-hour news was a little more strategic than we believed it to be. And it was sold to us as convenience and as information, like we were empowered. But were we really? And the last thing I'm going to touch on, there are many other areas and places I could touch on when it comes to the lack of common sense or how we lose or give away our common sense. So people who are empowered, people with titles, influence, celebrity, education, we typically, things that we know are our truths, we let people tell us otherwise because of these things, because they're a celebrity, because they have influence or money, or their bank account is bigger than yours. That don't make them a better person. You can make a lot of money. You was a piece of shit when you was broke, and you probably just a bigger piece of shit now that you have millions or billions of dollars. That don't mean that what's coming out of your mouth is the law or the Bible or the truth. But because of our insecurities, because we were taught money and power is what's most important, we don't even challenge right from wrong anymore. Thus, the lack of common sense. Like, I'm seeing people get into it with coworkers, in relationships, don't talk to friends and family members over things that really, in the big picture, it may matter, but on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't. I see people go hard for celebrities. I see people go hard for political figures. I see people go hard for professional athletes and teams, harder than they do for the people in their daily life. Like, if you fought for your marriage, for your kids, for your own health and wellness, for your own financial freedom, as hard as you fight for some of these other things, the world would be a better place. So that's another point I'm making about common sense. Like, make it make sense. Why are you riding so hard for somebody who don't even know you? And I'm talking more than just political. I'm talking all those categories I just named. Like, bruh, you done had signs in your yard since 2016. Or bruh, you got on football jerseys of professional athletes while your son or your daughter is struggling. You spend 4 hours a day watching football and 20 minutes a week helping your kids with homework. Make it make sense for me. So I didn't wake up with any surprise. I'm not surprised by anything, because I don't see the due diligence going in the day-to-day habits and behaviors and routines that would render smart decisions. So to wrap this up, I just ask that you reconnect and create a space that's accommodating for common sense. Yes, like, think before you act, challenge the status quo. Yes, and work on yourself. That you will see immediate change and long sustainable change. That's all I'm asking, because I know you don't have an answer to make it make sense, or you don't have another answer to tell me why are we not implementing common sense. So I hope y'all have a good week. I'm your girl, FM Ellis. Till next time, peace or pieces, whichever you choose.